everybody. Welcome to the TechRaptor podcast. I'm Robert Scarpanito, your features editor.
Andrew Rutten, editor-in-chief.
Rutledge Doggett, site founder.
Hello there. Welcome to the world of TechRaptor. My name is Stretch, and people call me the Pokemon editor.
Ugh.
Man,
He did not run that by us before.
That was a little
I could
creepy.
hate you more than I could now.
I thought he was about to say, and I'll be
Too
your
much?
dungeon master today.
Okay, if that was too much, I'll tone it down next week.
God, I'm scared for when you're going to talk about Pokemon later today. So we're going to touch on Pokemon, the new remasters that came out. And we're also going to talk about this little Microsoft game called Halo Infinite. So stick around for that. But first, let's get into some news. The GTA Trilogy, as you might have heard, is pretty bad. You can hear us talk more about it on last week's episode if you've somehow been out of the loop for that. But this past week, Rockstar has issued an apology. And beyond that, they're also giving everyone who owns the trilogy access to the old original versions of the game via the Rockstar launcher or the Rockstar store. And on top of that, Rockstar is now committed to pushing out some sort of updates in the near future to make this trilogy better. I don't know what kind of updates they can make that would really turn the tide here, but you know what? Maybe this could be one of those Destiny situations. Who knows?
I hope that they re-add touch controls. I think that that's really what the console experience is missing.
Yeah, I think they need a Final Fantasy 14 level readjustment. Blow it all up and restart. Yeah.
GTA 3, A Realm Reborn.
GTA 3 HD. Man, yeah, I mean, I think of all the moves Rockstar could have made, this isn't the worst one. At least they're kind of owning up to it, you know? Like they recognize, okay, yeah, this isn't great. So,
I mean, they recognize it with they put out a letter apologizing and they say, what, unexpected technical issues? It's like, okay, unexpected.
Yeah, so unexpected.
Yeah. I feel so bad for everyone in QA. Everyone in QA knew there's no way, and they just had to submit a broken game fundamentally.
You're assuming they sent it to QA because, judging by the state that it came out in, I don't know if QA touched it.
These are classics. They don't need any QA. They're already perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We just need to break them a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, in that statement, they say, quote, "The updated versions of these classic games did not launch in a state that meets our own standards of quality or the standards our fans have come to expect," which is like, yeah, no shit. yeah, obviously.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I don't have any words at this point. Like, you could have owned up to,
That's a good thing
we
you're on
didn't
a
do a good
podcast
job.
then.
Yeah. We didn't do a good job QAing this. Instead, you spun it as, we didn't see this coming. And you're like,
we're just as surprised as you guys are. We promise.
Yeah.
Well, that's also a problem.
We didn't even boot this game up before.
Yeah, you can't blame us.
Yeah.
We never checked it.
We're really not sure how hot coffee got in there.
Yeah.
We thought it was just a cup of coffee. We didn't know what else was going on in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny because, like, Otten, you dug up this story from, like, earlier in March, right, of this year, where...
where apparently the CEO of Take-Two, who is the parent company of Rockstar, was speaking at a media conference or telecom, some kind of conference, and VGC, Video Game Chronicles, was either there or somehow got a copy of it and transcribed it. And there's a quote from the CEO of Take-Two back in March of this year.
Yeah, Strauss Zelnick.
Yeah, we've done differently. What we've done differently than the competition, we don't just port titles over. We actually take the time to do the very best job we can, making the title different for the new release, for the new technology that we're launching it on.
It's different.
It's different.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess he's not lying, but...
Well, and for context, I believe he was saying this in regards to the GTA 5 remaster that's coming to PS5 and Series X, right? Which, you know, I hope they put in the effort for that because that's their cash cow, right?
Oh, man, no, I wish it has the same, like, smoothing of all the models.
Yeah, we really want GTA Online to be a smoother experience for everyone.
Enjoy our new 8K rendering, and they've just like widened every texture and still wrapped it around the same thing, and everything just looks flat.
I think my favorite one I saw was of the bugs was if you are driving and you're wiggling the car, it gradually gets larger.
Yeah.
Like
apparently that's from the original game though. That's always been around. Yeah, that was there originally. That's a bug that just carried with it. That's
a common bug due to something about like the X and the Y acceleration. Like you can max out on X, you can max out on Y, but then when you get into the math of figuring out how they move together, because I know that in like Half-Life 2 and Portal speedruns, the Source engine has the same thing. If you're like jumping and just continually waggling left and right, you can start picking up momentum.
Interesting. So it all comes down to math.
Yeah, well, I mean, if there's any way that something's going to get broken, it's because math does weird things.
Yeah, so math is the root of all evil, the square root of all evil.
Right.
Yeah, it's I'm glad that we're seeing Rockstar kind of like own it. You know, I'd rather them own it instead of like sweep it under the rug and be like, well, just wait till we release GTA 5 again. Then it'll be good, right?
The changes that they've made have been good. You know, giving people access to the original versions of the game
that they
had, I believe, pulled previously. It goes into like, I know when the Ratchet and Clank remake came out, air quotes, because that's a game based on a movie based on the original game. You know, the argument with a bad remaster is always, well, you still have the original. But in a digital age where, you know, moving forward, you know, especially with PC games, where physical PC games just aren't a thing, you know, in this instance, you can't really fall back on, well, you can still play the original. It's like, well, they delisted it, so they just try to, like a sheep farmer herding every sheep from one paddock to the next. Like, well, that doesn't exist anymore. Goodbye.
Oh, what are you telling me, Stretch, that you can't just go out there, buy a PlayStation 2 and buy an original copy of GTA 3 and pop that into your system and just play it? And
I mean,
you know,
I might have a spare copy in my console bag, but but for the most part, no, I don't think so. It's not that easy, or at least things are just going to start getting marked up.
Sounds like me trying to find Azure Dreams on eBay. How much do you want to pay? $1,500? Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, we'll see where it goes from here, right? I mean, I don't know how much more in the future we're going to be getting these updates, like where it's going to make news that like, oh man, GTA Trilogy is good now, right? Like, I don't know. I think that the moment for that trilogy has came and is going.
I think Lawton was onto something. If we do the Realm Reborn and maybe add in more bunny girls, I mean that'll sell me on it.
Okay, like in the strip clubs.
No, just like literal like bunny women walking around like from Final Fantasy 12. I think that will sell it for me.
Or the Playboy Mansion.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, Hugh was still alive back then, right?
Nice crossover for GTA. It's perfect.
Very, very timely. Everybody is very up with Playboy now.
Oh yeah, everyone
Huge
reads
company.
them for the articles. Yeah.
Stellar editorials. That's where I get all my gaming news from. I don't know about these other trash websites.
No wonder you're so uninformed.
Well, he's just sophisticated. He's on a different level.
That's true. I wouldn't understand. That's true. He must be a big Rick and Morty fan too.
Yeah, he doesn't even watch Rick and Morty. He only reads the reviews of Rick and Morty on Playboy magazine.
Dude, it's the funniest shit I've ever read.
Oh yeah. Right. Then he reverse engineers what he thinks the episode is like based on the review.
That's true genius. You know, I think that's what Einstein was talking about when he talked about genius.
One issue of Playboy actually came with pickle spears, just to like reinforce how fucking hysterical that episode was.
Oh yeah.
Man, Pickle Rick's way different in that context.
Oh no!
Yeah, that hits way differently.
Oh man.
Oh man!
This podcast just went to zero.
It's a good thing that we don't really monetize this.
Yet. yet.
Yeah. Sorry, future advertisers.
Our Vlasic sponsorship just left. Damn it.
Oh.
I don't know how we're gonna transition into this next story.
It's a binge.
Yeah, that actually makes this transition worse.
Advertisers will get angry at us just as much as Sony and Microsoft have been angry at Activision Blizzard.
There it is.
Oh, nailed
There,
it.
you
Nailed
saved
it.
it. Yeah.
Whooped it.
Yeah, hey, Activision Blizzard kind of sucks, right? Just generally. But so if you've been following the news over the summer and into now, Activision Blizzard has been roiled under a lot of controversies, a lot of treating women pretty poorly to the point where one woman has died. And previously, the CEO, Bobby Kotick, has gone on record saying that he was unaware of all of these things. And everyone was like, well, I don't know, shit rolls downhill. And this past week, it's been revealed that he was actually aware of all of these problems and has even threatened to kill a woman for complaining to him about it.
Yeah. That the PR company, the PR for Activision Blizzard acknowledged he did do out of, he said something out of anger or whatever and has apologized or something for it. So it's not like they said, oh, that never happened. They're like, yeah, that one happened. Like,
yeah, they just like tried to justify it as much as they could. Like, but here's why it happened.
He was just very angry. No big deal.
Yeah.
That definitely doesn't happen in abusive relationships or anything.
No. I mean, it was just anger. It was just moment of anger.
If you're going to get threatened to be someone's going to have you killed and they're a billionaire or something, you're like, oh, I believe it. Like, yeah, they have the resources.
This man can absolutely buy a hitman.
Yeah.
They actually
still have
checked
95%
payroll
of his yearly
records.
bonus left.
They checked payroll records and they actually have 3 hitmen on staff. How weird is that?
Yeah. Just like the number of IO Interactive Hitman games.
Well, that's who they get to do the mocap. Mocap and research. You can actually find them in the credits.
It's like a legitimate hitman. Yeah, it's bad though. I mean, the news in June and a lot of that stuff that dropped was just absolutely terrible. And it seemed like Blizzard was actively interested in making changes. At least from their PR statements. At this point we know I think they could give two shits. Between the leader of your company threatening people, sweeping things under the table, and then the board actively supporting him. Like, he could, walk out, kill someone, and the board would be like, he's still our guy. I don't know at what it's going to take for the board to either take action or for shareholders to remove the board.
But, Rut, they renamed McCree. I think you're forgetting that big step they made.
Did they
my bad.
Did they end up giving him a solid name?
Bitch.
I know that they were just calling him the Cowboy for a while.
No, they did
he's
give
got
him
a new name.
Hey, $50 to anyone here who can name the new name, because I don't remember it.
I think I shared a meme with you guys earlier.
You did, but it doesn't have the name on that meme. So
it's like it has a Cassidy or something.
Yeah, it's Cassidy.
It's Cole Cassidy. Is that
Cassidy.
Cole Cassidy.
Yeah.
Cole Cassidy. Mm-hmm.
But $50 pay up. Got him.
I mean, between that and changing artwork in World of Warcraft, and then I don't know if you saw the most recent skin from one of the new expansions, but at the right angle, it just looks like a Ku Klux Klan outfit. Yeah, I'm gonna dig up that tweet, but even Blizzard was like, "Oh yeah, we screwed up on that one."
Yikes! You think it would notice that?
Yeah, it's like you're in all white robes, literal pointy robe hat that covers the face, and you're just like,
a lot of these changes that they've made. I think most visibly the changes have been with Overwatch, like removing the name of a ramen shop as well in the background or something. Some kind of store in the background was also changed because of a name of a current employee.
What's funny about all these little changes that they're making, it's like if they weren't making them, I'm sure that there is like, oh god, we can't have another thing where someone finds something and then calls us out on it, so we must find them all ourselves and then change them. But now they're just telegraphing them to everybody that they had all of these things. So this is a lot of little things that make up a big thing.
Yeah. And I think that, like, to me, the biggest tipping point here is like Sony and Microsoft, the heads of both, right, Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer, have gone on record now saying, hey, this ain't great, chief. You know, like, they're not just ignoring it anymore. I mean, granted, I believe these were all in internal emails that were, you know, obtained by journalists, so it's not like public statements. But nonetheless, I mean, I don't think, like, I doubt this would happen, but could you imagine a future where you couldn't buy Call of Duty on the PlayStation 5 or Xbox store anymore because they're both like, we don't want to support Activision Blizzard anymore? Like, that's not going to happen in the immediate future, but I feel like this is the first step to where that could be a reality.
There's only three things I think at this point that will probably actually make changes for Blizzard. One, Sony or Microsoft pulls out of the partnership, no longer allows their games on their platform. Two, and I could be wrong on this, their stock hits 50, which is 50% of where it was at the start of the year. It was like $104 a share. We're sitting at 62 as of this recording. I would like to see the stock hit 50. Not out of anything other than that's how you hit the board into taking action. When your share price drops, that's when change happens. But I have no confidence anymore, at least in the company or the leadership, to where I feel comfortable supporting them. You know, I canceled my WoW sub in June, despite loving Classic.
I think that's going to be interesting as Blizzard Activision continues to make announcements going forward, whether, you know, those announcements will affect the stock to bring it back up. We already know that, or at least, you know, in the rumor sphere, whatever, there's been placeholder code found on the Xbox Store website for a World of Warcraft console edition.
Yep.
You know, if that's going to be revealed, say, around TGAs, you know, will the long-running, however many year MMO hitting consoles, will that be something, you know, big that will get people investing, will get people excited, will overshadow all of the chaos going on?
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, right? I think Activision is just in this space right now where whenever they announce anything about their games, I don't think they're going to be met with as much excitement overall.
Yeah. Well, and it's, even before all this news, almost everything they've had has been on a decline. Call of Duty is not as popular. WoW's not as popular. Overwatch is not as popular. Mm-hmm. People keep dunking on Diablo. So, like, Activision Blizzard has made a company out of, all right, we're just riding these main IPs to death.
And was it Diablo that just got pushed back 6 months as well?
Diablo and Overwatch 2 both got Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. So it's like all this, they've done nothing to really make themselves, I don't know, a better company anyway. So if I'm looking at Bobby's work lately or the board's work, it's like, well, you guys we've been nothing but, you know, not doing so hot seemingly. On then all of this, what's the incentive to keep them around other than like Bobby's been in charge for 30 years now.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
did not found the company, even though it seems like it. He didn't. Activision was around well before Bobby Kotick was around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, even from a pure business perspective, like if you try not to care about all these heinous things that are happening behind closed doors, like, it's kind of hard to see Activision going in a good way, you know? Like, they're not really blowing people's minds with anything.
Yeah. I mean, Bungie split away too. Mm-hmm. Was it 2 years ago? They got out of that partnership as fast as they could.
Yeah. From
lucky for Bungie and like very unlucky for Activision, because it's like it's one of those new breath of fresh air that they could have used as a company. We're talking purely business wise, where now they've been kind of stagnantly, just like I said, writing those same franchises for so long now. Nothing new.
Yeah. And then meanwhile, since that split, I feel like Destiny 2 has been doing kind of better than ever.
Pretty well, yeah.
Because Bungie's being probably allowed to do what they do best, and that's create. Bungie's always been good at creating worlds, and I wonder, too, how much they were stifled in that Activision partnership.
And, yeah, the last, like, big unique, not even, like, really that unique, but the last big things to come out of Activision was, like, SpongeBob, Crash, and Tony Hawk, that then Vicarious Visions, they pulled them in to help work on Call of Duty and took away their name. So the company Vicarious Visions is now just a nameless part of Blizzard Activision. I played and reviewed all 3 of those games. Oh, and Crash 4 as well. Mm-hmm. I played and reviewed all of those for the sites, and I loved them all. It was great to see them coming back in. Tony Hawk was fantastic. But it's just, it's so weird that like the big things that I guess that I've been excited for, that has been fresh, that has been different from their yearly shooter, they just absolutely treated that development team like crap.
Yeah. Even then, it's I agree that the Tony Hawk HD remakes were good, but is it really fresh?
Yeah,
maybe
they didn't
fresh
really
wasn't
do anything new. They just made that an updated version. It's what the GTA trilogy should have been.
Yeah, but like they made the Crash trilogy, and then, or was at that point when it got to Crash 4, was it already partially handed off to Toys for Bob?
I think it was at that point it had been handed off. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, all of that was weird.
Yeah. But I think we should probably like wrap up this discussion on ActiBliz soon here. But Rut, do you have anything else you want to say about?
Yeah. So I mean, in a lot of the same lines of what we've already been discussing, we've had an internal policy since earlier this year that we are not covering Activision Blizzard, Riot, or Ubisoft games. We will cover the allegations, we will cover the controversy that's around it, but we're not going to be part of the machine that essentially uses PR to cover up this type of story. I think every time we've seen something bad come out of Activision, Ubisoft, or Riot, shortly after there's a game announcement, and then all the sites jump on that, and we've forgotten about the allegations and things like that. So for us, until we hear from employees publicly, not through an intermediary, not through the CEO, that we hear conditions are better at these companies, we are not going to actively cover or promote their games. And we were pretty quiet about this because the goal was never to make it about us. Hey, look at this thing we're doing. It was all about let's try and stifle some of the fire that comes from these PR releases, and ultimately get more eyes on this issue. And I'm hoping that us coming out will, maybe other game sites will follow. I know that a couple have said they'll continue to cover it, which is disappointing, but at the end of the day, I'm sure they have to pay the bills. But for us, we're lucky enough to be in a position that we can take this stance and hopefully be a part of some good change that needs to happen in this industry, because these are 3 of the biggest companies in gaming, and if they can make change, then it's going to ripple through the rest of the industry. So,
and for a little bit of added, when we say we just want to cover the controversy, that's not just, we don't want to just be stacking on the company.
Yep.
We look forward to writing about the good stuff too. We're keeping an ear on the ground, looking for those situations where employees are able to publicly say, wow, things have gotten better. And we really look forward to writing those stories. Just at the moment, there's a mass shortage of them.
And
I mean, if you're an Activision, Ubisoft, Riot employee, feel free to reach out to us, whether it's good or bad. At the end of the day, we want to help get stories out and promote positive change within the industry. So
I think it's worth noting too that these aren't the only 3 companies this stuff happens at.
Yep.
It's a pretty big issue industry wide. And there's if we wanted to take the really hard line stance, it would just be like, I guess we're not covering games anymore.
Yeah, we just shut down.
So the part of the reason with Activision Blizzard, Ubisoft, and Riot is that it's very publicly out there. The information is there, and they are 3 of the tentpole companies in the industry. So hopefully,
and they're all in active litigation.
Yeah, hopefully, if stuff happens there, it can do stuff elsewhere for other companies. Hopefully.
Yep.
Like they could be role models for others.
Yep.
Yeah.
In how you make good change within a company, because things are bad now, but if they can promote positive change and employees can share how that changed, how it got better for them, and companies can follow suit.
And hopefully it will show too, like if we're just going to be real cynical and cold about it, like these companies, all they give a shit about is money. And if they can show that this is a positive, impactful step towards making a better company that is healthier in terms of the money-making business side, hopefully that will happen and other companies will follow suit, because that's really what's going to motivate them more than, man, I'm so glad we made it better for our employees, because they largely don't give a shit.
Games do better.
Yep.
We've got to do better as an industry is really what it comes down to. So I know that we're pretty vocal as an outlet about a number of things, and we're able to come at that from a position of privilege, and we have no investors, we have no privatized interests, so we can kind of do what we want. But I know that other outlets can't do the same, but I do hope that the coverage around this, that anything positive is dampened by, hey, this is still going on in some way, shape, or form, because the sentiment has to change, and the industry itself has to want to change before we're going to see positive, progressive improvement.
Yeah.
So,
I think
let's get away from the serious shit.
You know what else
And get
needs
into the real
improvement?
serious stuff.
Get into the real serious stuff like
Games.
Halo
Just
Ranked.
Halo skills.
Halo.
Platinum 2, baby.
Okay, let's shift gears into Halo Infinite. Y'all like it? I get the sense that y'all like it.
Game's good. I like
I feel
shooting
like I'm
people and watching
17
them
years
die.
old again.
The Halo Infinite multiplayer did shadow drop like last week when we
Worst kept
quote unquote
secret.
worst kept. Yeah, true. But it did drop last Monday, quote unquote, surprisingly. I think we've all been playing it throughout the week, maybe perhaps some more than others. Do you want to tell people about your 100 matches?
Oh yeah, I'm 100 matches in. Half of that is ranked at this point. I played all day yesterday.
And you said you're Platinum 2?
Platinum 2. I came in at Platinum 1 with my rank.
So what's the going rate per hour to play someone to be good at video games for you? Like, how much have you been paying the pro on the side to pretend to be you?
First of all, wow. Second of all, wow. And third of all, wow.
We all know the images he gave us are Photoshop. He didn't pay anybody.
Yeah. You can see the artifacting around the rank.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Just fucking rude. But no, I mean, obviously, I'm loving it. I'm someone who had, I don't know, 7,000-8,000 matches in Halo 2. So this has been, for me, a return to form for Halo multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean, this is my first experience playing a Halo game online, and it's interesting. There's parts of it that feel kind of old school. Like there's something about it, right, that feels that way, but it also feels kind of modern. Like it's a modern take on Halo is what I hear a lot of people have been saying, which it sounds like it's a good thing for the longtime Halo fans.
It's fast paced. It as compared to some of the more recent titles, everything just feels very fast and quick, and the sound design is incredible, and just the feel of everything is very, very solid.
Yeah, Halo 1 through 3 really carved out an image for itself, and then as like Reach and 4 happened, it began like continuously shifting. Like I'm someone who really enjoyed the multiplayer of 5, and this feels even better. That might be because I'm playing, from what I've played so far of this one, I've been playing primarily keyboard and mouse. That it just feels good. People still can't play objective game modes for shit though. How do people not understand? When you've got an A, a B, and a C on the map, you need to go and cover them.
All things about killy, shooty, McShoot.
Yeah,
it's so frustrating.
Guys, kill the flag carrier.
I've seen people complain about how, because like right now, you can't just say I want to play. Is it Slayer? That's like their team deathmatch, right? Or like I just want to play Capture the Flag. Like right now, it's just a playlist, right? And it just kind of rotates through everything.
Quick play, big team battle, and ranked. And ranked is the same thing as quick play, but with ranks, essentially. Mm-hmm. I think I would like to see a return to how Halo 2 had things, where it was like, this is your CTF rank, this is your oddball rank, this is your Slayer and Rumble and everything else. Please bring back Shoddy Snipes. I would like to see that, mostly because, I would like the objective-based people to be in the objective playlists.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have said that this is the beta, right? Mm-hmm. And then they've pushed back when season 2 of the multiplayer will happen a further 3 months, as well as the campaign co-op.
It's like
been pushed back a further 3 months.
27 days is the counter right now.
So it's going to be the game will come out, and then 6 months later, we'll get season 2 of the multiplayer, and we'll get the campaign co-op. So I wonder whether like the smaller hopper is part of the beta experience.
Could be.
But
it's a good way to stress test servers too.
Yeah.
By not splitting it out as much, especially, there's been almost 100,000 people on at any given hour for the last 5 days.
I wonder if they did have the breakout of like ranked oddball, ranked capture the flag, ranked slayer, whether you would find that certain playlists just didn't have, had population issues. It's like, I bet it would be way easier to find a Team Slayer match than a oddball match at any point of the day.
It always was back in the day, and even if they just broke out objectives from Slayer, I think that would be a huge positive in terms of getting the right people in the playlists where they want to be.
Yeah, like competitive versus, I don't know a better way to say it, but like competitive or kills.
Yeah.
Like kill versus objective based.
Yeah.
But it's been a blast. It's been so much fun. Feels good.
So
that assault rifle is feeling much better than I feel like the assault rifle has been steadily getting worse in different games. But it feels good in this one.
Like the base one that you start with whenever you spawn in?
Yeah. It's actually good. The pistol's good. So it's kind of a return to form of 2 iconic weapons within. And then I will mention the ranked is pure MLG. So no radar, and you start with a battle rifle, and that's it.
Oof.
That's cool.
Which I much more prefer, to be honest. Like the not having the radar makes things so much more intense. You're checking your back constantly looking around on edge. It's definitely more intense than the quick play modes. And you can split out who you're playing with. So at least in ranked on solo duo, you can say I'm keyboard and mouse only. Open has to be crossplay. So you can kind of, if for the people like me who want to play against other keyboard and mouse people, I can do that within ranked. So
you can separate yourself from the riffraff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
the
you can
auto aim scrubs.
Yeah, the real PC Master Race true gamers.
Yes.
Yeah. Otten, you've been a little quiet. Are you liking Halo Infinite? Are you enjoying this new video game from Xbox?
So yeah, I haven't been playing a ton of the modern shooters though. The last shooter I was played a lot of was TF2. When it was
very new, very new.
So I've played other stuff, but I never really played it competitively. I didn't do a lot of the multiplayer stuff. And my last real big Halo that I played a lot of like online or match was Halo 3. And playing this feels a lot like Halo 3, even running around matches. So I'm really wondering, I have not played a ton of Infinite's multiplayer yet. I've played some. But so far it's just this is Halo. First time I've done it with a keyboard and mouse. I was always on a controller before. So it's instantly 50 times better already. But it's definitely fun and fast-paced. But I don't have much more nuance to offer than it's Halo.
Yeah,
honestly,
I think an interesting perspective that I'm looking forward to having is with multiplayer games and especially with reviews. We don't have a review code of the game, but it's going to be interesting for those reviews. normally in a multiplayer, a bit of like, behind the curtain from us here. Normally what's quite interesting in multiplayer games is how small the population is during that like pre-launch period. I remember for Halo 5 when I reviewed that, I always saw the reviewer from Attack of the Fanboy showing up in those games, and they even had like Attack of the Fanboy gamer tag, so they might have just had it on the system in office. And like that was really interesting to see. But for reviewers this time around, it is gonna make the reviews so much better to not only have this extended time to play multiplayer, but for the multiplayer to be out. And I think that that's a really interesting thing that 343 has been able to do with this release of Halo. Like, the campaign may be behind closed doors and only reviewers are able to check it out at the moment. I know that some places have already put up previews. But I think that's really going to, make the multiplayer portion of the review better. But it's also a free-to-play game. So, like, that's also really cool. I just think it's, a unique experience for reviewers to play multiplayer with people instead of it just being, the 50 of them, 100 of them.
Well, it's interesting, too, releasing on Steam while also having Games Pass side by side. They're saying that they're seeing pre-order numbers go up on Steam despite it being a Games Pass game.
We saw that with Forza last week as well, that the rankings on the Xbox store and on Steam and stuff, it was still in like top 3 games purchased for that period. And you can have full access to it for, $15 a month, or like $10 a month, $9 a month, whatever the PC version is.
It's 15 for both.
Yeah, it's 15 for Ultimate.
Yeah.
But if you were just wanting to get it for PC, I think that's only like $9.
Wait, you can do just PC? I've been paying Ultimate this whole time, and I don't even turn on my Xbox.
Yeah. There's a separate one for just PC. But there are some Ultimate things that like you only get if you do the full Ultimate. I don't know.
Yeah, like
I've got Ultimate for the next year and a half. Yeah, that's cloud gaming. That's it. But no, it's really cool to see, games getting, sold and everyone's buying them and everyone's loving them. But also, the day one strategy is definitely helping out. I'm sure that this is going to be a Halo that will not have a population issue for a long time, especially amongst the Battlefield release and the Call of Duty release that just came out that a lot of people are pretty lukewarm on.
Yeah, I mean, like the worst thing I've seen with Halo Infinite so far is like the Battle Pass. Like people weren't happy with it, but they just released that update recently, right?
Yeah, it was like 24 or 48 hours that they're just like, yeah, that was our bad. We've fixed a major issue, and then we're going to keep looking at it going forward. It's like, oh, okay, well, check.
And it's way better. I've been cruising through the weeklies without as much issue because it's not some of these. There was one that was like, get 5 kills with a shade turret, and you can only find the shade turret on one map in Big Team Battle, which is like super frustrating when you're like, somebody else gets it, and then they blow it up, and you're like, well, I'll try again next game. That and like, play 5 matches of Oddball when you can't choose Oddball as a playlist. So they've improved it significantly.
Yeah, and so like with that, I just see a really bright future for Halo Infinite, which is the multiplayer at least, which is nice. I think for me on my end, I've only played like 5 or 6 online matches, and I'm good. Not that I think it's a bad video game, but just for me, I've gotten what I need out of Halo Infinite multiplayer for the year. I think I'm good. I mean, I'm not the biggest like online shooter person in the first place, but what I am excited about is the campaign, because I think playing the game does feel very good. Like just the running around, the motion, and like shooting your guns and all that feels really cool and good. And I'm just excited to see that in a more PvE environment, especially with some of the previews that I'm seeing of the Infinite campaign coming out. I'm like, okay, That I'm excited for. The multiplayer, I'm happy that like we have 2 people on this podcast who are very happy with it, and like I think that's great, and that seems to be like the vibe I'm getting generally from people online is that they're really, really liking it, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm so excited for the campaign. I've been like trying to steer clear of some previews, but what I do see in like my Twitter thread and stuff, just all sounds really good. Yeah. I'm not too sure how I feel about Halo having a skill tree, but I've seen people kind of comparing it more to a Breath of the Wild versus a Far Cry.
Yeah,
I still
like
think
I've
it's
seen
just
some
too, baby.
Yeah, well, I've seen some. Maybe that should be, if you do the review on, you should say this is Master Chief's Just Cause 2. No, I've seen some people or some preview headlines that were like Halo Infinite is Master Chief's Breath of the Wild moment, which sounds exciting, but I'm also wondering, like, are we as an industry overusing Breath of the Wild moment or Breath of the Wild like?
I hope the guns have durability. Woo!
I mean, what isn't that kind of ammo? Isn't ammo technically like the durability of a gun?
As long as this isn't the Dark Souls of Halo.
Well, maybe Breath of the Wild isn't a good comparison, but maybe what people are like really trying to say is that this might be like the God of War, like the 2018 God of War, like enough of a pivot away from the base formula, while still being like striking and good. I'm so excited to sink my teeth into that campaign when it comes out in December.
Same, but now I just want to hear Master Chief say "boy."
You could probably cameo Steve Downs to do that. Run lines. Have Cortana do the voice of Mimir, the head.
Yeah.
I want to play that Halo game.
Same. And that might be the Halo game that comes out in December. We'll see.
Yeah, let's see.
We even got the teaser for the TV show finally.
Oh, yeah.
I remember being a 12 or 13-year-old on the schoolyard back when I lived in Australia, talking with people about the rumors of the Halo TV show, the Halo movie. And it's going to be so cool. And here we are 15 years later, finally getting a teaser after that project has been picked up and
Spielberg's making it
put down. Now. Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah, hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's just as good as the Uncharted movie.
Hey, we can't say anything bad about that yet. We haven't seen it yet. Give it a chance.
Yeah.
Give it a chance. Even though it comes out in February, the classic month that movie execs put the good movies out in.
Oh man, that's gonna be a rough few months for Tom Holland, huh? The high of the new Spider-Man movie, and then whatever the Uncharted movie is gonna be like, huh?
Maybe it will be. You don't know. Maybe it's great.
Yeah, it could be even better than Spider-Man.
Yeah.
As long as it's better than Willy's Wonderland.
You don't like FNAF the movie? Are we still getting FNAF the movie?
Yeah, like the official one.
Okay.
The official one. This one.
Didn't Scott Cawthon
I'm only halfway through it, but it's.
You didn't even finish it? I thought you were like halfway through it when you were messaging us in Slack last night.
Yeah. Well, then it was time for bed because I'm old.
Well, it's so good. He just wants to savor it.
That's right.
I need to savor it.
But no, it's clearly he was watching it too late at night. And he was snuggled up on his couch with a blanket and his Grogu doll.
That's right.
And he kept having to like hold Grogu's eyes to make sure that he doesn't see violence.
That's right.
Yeah.
He felt like his hero, the Mandalorian.
Yes. Spot on. I've been to the office 2 times in the last month, and both times people have given me Baby Yoda merch. And I expect that to continue, or I will not be returning to the office.
And this is an announcement to all of your coworkers.
Oh, they already know. I told my boss, I was like, you have to give me merch to get me to come into the office now, because the precedent has been set, and it will not be broken.
So is Grogu Rutnip?
Yes.
Ugh.
Okay.
Yep.
It's Pavlov's frog.
I think we've got one more game to talk about here. Stretch, do you want to tell us about the Pokemans?
We've got new Pokemon. Well, new old Pokemon. It's been
Not every
13
Pokemon,
years. It was probably on the same schoolyard that I was talking about Halo while playing Pokemon Pearl back in the day.
You must have been captivating those kangaroos.
Mm-hmm.
They were with it. They were with it. They weren't as good at battling.
Should you say prison yard? Get it?
I know. It was pretty bad.
Get it?
But no, this is, in terms of the Pokemon remakes, this is by far the most faithful, which is kind of weird. It's like a bit of a dual-edged sword. It's everything that I wanted, and they have like added a bit more. But I'm someone who knows that Pokemon Gen 4 was the best generation. It was the start of the comprehensive end games. You've got the Diamond and Pearl, you've got the Heart Gold, Soul Silver, the remakes of the previous better generation. But all of the stuff that they've added in like proper competitive trainer AI for a lot of the more difficult fights, which is super cool. Like I got absolutely stomped by the Elite Four just because they had like, special hold items and stuff to make them a difficult fight.
Wait, are you telling me that a Pokemon game is difficult now?
Yeah, this is
not.
This is the Dark Souls of Pokemon.
No.
Well, they've got the competitive Elite Four battles, and then the gym rematches are also competitive. Like they use competitive strats, which is just such a cool idea to have it. It's like the idea of like a Pokemon Super Boss.
And that's new to this version, right?
They did have.
Or was that in their original release too?
They did have the gym rematches in the original. They didn't have the competitive AI, and they do have an expanded team. So in the original gym rematches, it was just pretty much the same Pokemon but at higher levels, or there was like some team changes out. The level 15 Geodude that you fight is not going to be a level 70 Geodude now.
Right. It'd be like a golem, right?
Yeah, but they've expanded it out with the Platinum teams, which were just 5 Pokemon, and then they've added a 6th as well. And then there's also like a level 100 Giratina, like Shadow Giratina, like super boss fight as well in like the post game, which is really awesome.
Is that one that you want to capture, or is that just straight up a boss fight?
So you'll encounter Giratina. This is the new Pokemon games. The way that they do events is just like you'll show up in the Pokemon Center and there'll just be someone standing there to hand you the Pokemon. And that's boring as all hell. I've really hated how they've started doing legendary Pokemon like that. In Diamond and Pearl, it's like mini storylines that lead you to a legendary.
Mm-hmm.
So after beating the game, getting to the end game, there'll be a new cave tunnel that opens up, and you can get Giratina there. But then the shadow boss fight, you beat him, and he gives you the item that lets him transform into a different form.
Okay.
So it's just a level 100 Pokemon that you encounter
Pokemon
that you just need to beat the shit out of.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so you said it's a very faithful remaster. And you mentioned like a double-edged sword. So like what's bad about that?
I mean, it's like the most obvious thing is, if you're wanting new content, then you're not going to get it. If you played Diamond and Pearl 13 years ago, then it's going to be the same experience now. I've also had issues because it is, because it used to be on a grid system. You would have those like one brick wide like walkways that now that it's not on the same grid system, you can like be slightly off and just like catch yourself bonking into walls continuously. It's just a bit funny. Like if they'd widened those by like, 1.5%, it would have been much easier to get through.
Right. But overall, would you say you're having fun with it? Would you say it's good?
Oh, yeah. I've already finished Diamond. I'm already halfway through Pearl.
Wait, you got both?
What?
Yeah. Because you can get like the double pack for like
You're insane.
$100 or whatever. What?
I don't they're the same game.
Actually,
Don't argue with me on that one. You're not right.
He's about to, but actually,
don't even.
It's because we had like all the issues of the game like broke street date 2 weeks early, and then the file got uploaded online. I've already been seeing YouTubers and stuff playing like modded versions of the game for like challenge runs and stuff. But another cool thing that they found in the coding of the game is that there is a string flag that if you alter that flag from one value to another, it will be Pokemon Diamond, but it will boot up and will be Pokemon Pearl.
So you literally have to just change one letter in the code to...
Yeah, it's like, 1 or 2 strings, and the game will boot up as an entirely different game.
But the same game.
Well, no, because there's like
they're
Pokemon
both the
differences.
same.
Please.
Yeah.
They're the same game, Stretch.
Well, what's crazy is like these are long. These aren't like, okay, I played it like it's 15 hours and I beat it, man. I'm done. This is like they're long.
Yeah,
I don't understand how you.
It's got the EXP all. So like when the Pokemon wins a battle, everyone gets experience. So they have managed to successfully cut out, 80% of the grinding you would do. And some people might say, well, that's part of the game. Why are you cutting out that much content? But if it's just you like spinning circles in the grass to battle over and over again, that's not rewarding gameplay. I don't care about that.
No.
Nope.
Well, I'm just thinking
it was quite funny.
You getting through SMT5 in like no time, and then the SMT3. I don't understand how you.
He's a fucking machine, bro.
I don't. Does he not sleep?
I mean, like I just enjoy crunching through JRPGs over a weekend.
I'll get a Google Doc from him on a Monday that's like 20 pages long, and he's like, "All right, here's all my guides," and I was like, "How the fuck?"
Yeah, it was fun. I think SMT5, I want to say 30 hours, including all of like the super boss content.
Jeez.
Again, fuck that final boss.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon, I got through, probably like 15 hours over the course of, I got the Australian unlock. So I got it a little bit early and then powered through it and beat it early Saturday morning. And then just for fun, I've been playing through Pearl.
Just for fun?
For fun.
Definitely. Well, because, then I can get 2 Mews and 2 Jirachi that I can upload to my mobile phone.
We may share the same first name, but I feel like we're a different species. I don't understand it.
Oh, maybe this is like the Pokemon...
He says while he boots up Warcraft again.
There's Pokemon Diamond, Pokemon Pearl. We've got Andrew Stretch and Andrew Rotten. You're both the same, but slightly different.
Yeah.
No,
I just I just zone in on games. I love it. Just that's also why I'm such a shill for Game Pass. I'm kind of the person that like unpacking with popped up on Game Pass, and I just like played through that in an afternoon, uninstalled it, like I'll never touch it again, just keep moving on. I just really enjoy just playing as many games as possible. The people on the flip side of that, like, I also really enjoy speedruns and like watching speedrunners like ZFG or Point Crow or Small Ant just like have such encyclopedic knowledge. Spike Vegeta as well for his Kingdom Hearts 2 stuff and just his general personality. I have so much respect for the people who can like sit down, focus, and play the exact same game a million times, have it down to a science in their mind. Like, I'm going to do this, and then this, and then this is how I will get this outcome. Just like breaking it down on such a core level. I think that's amazing. I respect that so much. I just do not have the attention span for it because there's just too many good games that come out every year. There's like next one. I needed to play through SMT5 fast enough so that I could get to Pokemon. I needed to play through that fast enough because there's a Genshin update out on Wednesday, and I'm going to be playing the Genshin update on Wednesday. I think so.
Oh boy.
And after the Genshin update, then we have Halo, and we've also got Thanksgiving week this week.
Sounds like you're going to see nobody during that time.
I always use. This is where I'm going to stare into the camera for the shameless plug. I always use TechRaptor's game release calendar to know which game upcoming I need to be mentally preparing and clearing my backlog for.
Oh my god! Do you enjoy video games, or is this just like you just mindlessly consume them at this point?
I mean, I do. People joke about like, I want this, I love this so much, inject it directly into my veins. I do that.
You actually inject it into your veins.
I mainline hard video games, and just turn them into content.
Hashtag content.
Jeez, man. I don't know how you do it.
At least we have Kingdom Hearts together. Nomura.
I started replaying Kingdom Hearts last week.
Why?
Oh, that's right. We talked about this. No.
Yeah. To do the speedrun guide, to get through the full game in like 4.5 hours. It's awesome. It's so much fun. It's just like, give me video game content.
Oh my god. That's unreal. Absolute fucking monster.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, well, I think that wraps up today's episode. And just a reminder, this episode is brought to you by Vlasic. Get your pickles. They're delicious. I think that's their tagline.
You might pickle for a nickel.
So I can go back to playing Pokemon now, right?
What?
Yeah, you can go back to mainlining Pokemon.
After you light the candle at your Nomura shrine, yes.
Yeah. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please feel free to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, or if you're listening on YouTube, give us a like and maybe drop a comment below. Let us know what you think about Stretch's monstrous ability to consume video games like a black hole.
How do you like playing video games? Are you someone who focuses in on one?
Are you
or do
Andrew
you also
Stretch or
like
Andrew
consuming as much?
Yeah, it's very opposite. I don't like shoot up meth to play games to be up all night. Like, I don't understand. Speaking of shooting up, like, my lord.
Yeah.
That's what he needs.
Yeah.
Oh god,
that's all that makes sense.
So fast.
Well, I'm just saying, my regular job, like, this is all. You're sounding like the people I talk to. You need help.
Oh no.
Seek out
Full
help.
context.
I don't need help. I can quit whenever I want.
Yeah.
Andrew works in a 911 call
That's what
center,
they all
so
say.
that should give you all the context you need.
Andrew Otten.
Yeah, not Stretch.
True.
And hey, if you want more of this garbage, subscribe.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week.
I'm sure Vlasic is glad we start talking about meth right afterwards. They're not really sponsoring us, just so you know.
No, they really don't. Yeah.
This has been the longest outro ever, and this is going to provide so much content for Dash.
And hey, if you can't wait for the next episode next week, we're always publishing a bunch of news, reviews, features, all that sort of stuff at techraptor.net if you just want to keep up with the gaming space. But otherwise, this show will be back next week. Hope you enjoy Thanksgiving week if you celebrate that, if you're in the United States. If you don't, hope you just have a good week in general, I guess. And we'll see you next week. Bye.